Thursday. This is Coloring Bliss and welcome to our live event this week. Today we're going to be talking all about how to color with Crayola Super tip markers. We're going to give you lots of fun tips on how to color with these markers. I've got my stash right here. We're also going to be using some Crayola crayons. So I hope you're excited to color with some Crayola products today. It should be lots of fun. We're going to be using watercolor paper. I'm going to talk about how to get the most out of these really humble but amazing tools, the Crayola markers. Got little Rose back here. She's settling in. Are you glad to be here? So happy pre-Halloween. We're going to be doing a coloring page that is a little Halloween centered. We've got a lot of fun coloring pages over at coloringbliss.com for you to celebrate the holidays. Halloween, Thanksgiving, all the holidays that are coming up. We try to provide lots of fun art for you to color for the holidays. So if you haven't come over to Coloring Bliss to check out the art that we have there, please do. We have some free ones. Steve just put another one out for everyone to enjoy. What we usually do, we have a library over at coloringbliss.com that is close to 600 coloring pages now. And then when the holidays come around, we take them, a couple of them out of the paid library so that a few of you can enjoy those free ones for the holidays. Or you can just become a paid member. It's just $5 a month and you get access to the entire library. You can cancel anytime you want, and you can enjoy all the new art that comes and enjoy all of that, the benefits. There's not just art there, there's worksheets, swatch pages, all kinds of great stuff. So come on over and check that out. I wanted to show you another new page that we have also released for Halloween into that premium library. That's this page right here. I'm excited about it. I had a lot of fun drawing this one. I wanted to draw one with lots of like potion bottles, and so it was kind of a personal thing I wanted to draw. I wanted to draw all these really cool bottles. So I did some hunting online looking for reference images of some really pretty bottles, like perfume bottles and all those kinds of imagery. And I just had so much fun drawing all these bottles. Some of them are more spooky than others. Here, I'll show you again. Like this one has like an eyeball on it, and so some of them are spooky, others are just more whimsical and charming. This one's like a crystal one, and this one's got butterflies on it. So kind of did a mix of things on that one. So hopefully you'll enjoy coloring that one. So that one's in the premium library, and then Steve pulled out of the premium library and making it limited time available for everyone, for all of our free members, an oldie but a favorite. That's this one right here. If the shoe fits, get a broom and hat to match. This one I drew. Well, this is the remastered one. I remastered it digitally so that it would be all crisp lines and everything. But I think I drew this one like 3 or 4 years ago originally.
Maybe even longer.
Yeah, so this one's been around a long time, but it's a all-time, long-time favorite. I think I've colored it maybe 3 or 4 times, because it's such a favorite. So everybody can come and download this one. And if you've colored it before, like I said, it's a really fun one to recolor. So you can come and recolor it. We also have this one available for a limited time. It's a free one right here that you can come and get. And just to remind you of some of the other new pieces of art that's in the premium library, we have this fun pumpkin patch that I recently drew. I finally got my need to draw pumpkins out of my system, so I think we're done with pumpkins for a while, you guys. You'll still see a few coming up as we release the upcoming coloring pages, but yeah, I've drawn a lot of pumpkins. There's this charming little monster. This is the one we're going to be coloring tonight. I've been wanting to color him for ever since I drew him. I've been wanting to color him, so I'm excited we're going to color him tonight. And then there's this really cute little witch that's also available, and if you caught last week's video, you saw me color her, and I colored her in pointillism with the Ohuhu markers. So hopefully you caught that video. If not, you can watch it. It was from last week and it was really fun. I'm still very proud of how this turned out because it was really a challenge for me me to do, go watch that video and you'll understand why it was such a challenge. So, but today we're here to color with these beauties, my Crayola Super Tip markers. So I'm going to teach you how to get the most out of these. I also grabbed from a few weeks ago, we did a video all about the Crayola 24 packs of crayons. There's a variety of them. There's neons and there's all kinds of fun packs. And this was my favorite pack of the ones that we tested out and tried, the confetti. And so I've got my Crayola Super Tip markers and this pack of crayons that we're going to use on the coloring page tonight. So my question for all of you that are here live with us tonight, do you have a stash of Crayola products that you color with? Do you color with them on a regular basis, or do they just go on your shelf and you pull them out once in a while? Tell me about your Crayola products. These ones here, I am really excited to use these again. I've been wanting to use these since we used them together a couple weeks ago. So really excited about these. And my Crayola Super Tips have been sitting on my cupboard, on my shelf for a long time. And I was a little worried they'd be dry, but I tested them. They are good to go. They're working great, so I'm excited. And these are some of my go-to markers, but I haven't used them in a while. So I'm really excited about using these again. So yeah.
Michaela Brothers says that you inspired her to dye her hair purple.
I'm going to re-dye my hair purple this weekend probably. So next time you see me in a video, I'm going to have purple hair just like you, Michaela. I'm so excited.
Wendy says she does. Mary, I have them but never use them. Maybe
yeah.
You'll make her like them again.
Yeah, they are really geared towards kids. So if you've been coloring for a while, you've probably progressed past the kids art supply stage, but there are some really good aspects to the Crayola products. There's a reason Crayola has been around for as long as they have. They've stood the test of time because they make a good product. So there are some good things about them.
Mary says, I have them. Or no, sorry, it was Mary who says, yeah, she has them, but she hates Super Tips.
Oh, I'd love to know why you hate them. Let me know.
Only occasionally. Star doesn't. Yep, Jamie's used them all.
Yep.
Yolanda has some.
Yeah. So I would love to know why you don't use them anymore. I have reasons why I don't use them a lot. So I'm going to share my reasons. I want to hear your reasons. Maybe we can work through those issues, and maybe like someone said, maybe this will make you pull them back out and use them again. So
Jen says, I have Super Tips. They're not used very often. She's been waiting to get the watercolor ground, which she finally has.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that stuff will help. Okay, so I've got my stash right here. We're ready. I also have a few other products handy to help me use and get the most out of these. But before we get started, I want to remind you that we have a giveaway going, and it's not for a child type product. We're giving away these lovelies. Very, very high-end product here. So we've got kids and we've got a very high-end artist grade product here. We're giving away this very box right here in plastic. This set right here will come to one of you. So follow the link.
It's the Copic sketch.
Oh, sorry, I didn't say the phrase, did I? This is the Copic sketch 12 set of markers here. So follow the link in the video description. The winner will be announced on November 1st. So you have through October 31st to get your entries in for a chance to win this. Lots of different ways to enter. So yeah, get your entries in. I'm so excited that one of you get a chance to use this artist grade amazing product. Now the difference between these markers and these markers, the biggest difference is these are alcohol-based markers and these are water-based. These have really fancy, amazing nibs on these markers, and then these are just kind of felt tip basic nibs. Now these are nice nibs. I'll show you why I like these nibs, but there is a world of difference between these two products, and that's why this set right here I think was what, close to $50 for this set.
close to 60.
Oh, close to $60 for this set. And for 100 super tip markers, it's $15.
Yeah.
There's a link to these in the video description in case you decide, well, I want to try super tips again. So, yeah, huge price difference in these two products. But we are talking product, made for kids versus an artist grade product that's totally different. This has a system behind it. And yeah, you guys know, it is two totally different worlds here, but we're giving this one away. I'm so excited. So yeah, this one here, this is my old set. I think the super tips look a little different now. They come in 100 colors now. This is when I bought my super tips. This was all the colors they had. They don't have color names on them, which is one of my pet peeves and why I don't use them a lot. And the caps on them are nowhere near the color that comes out of them. So that's another reason why I never really reach for my super tips very often. But they are a dependable little marker. They've been sitting on my shelf for a couple years and they still put out beautiful color. So that's pretty impressive. And the tips on them, they call them the super tip. So it's a smaller, more fine tip than that big bulky marker that, we usually get for our kids. And you can get a nice broad stripe with it or a really fine point. So yeah, there's a lot of pros to this little humble marker that does quite a lot. So I don't know if you have a newer set of Crayola Super Tips, let me know what has changed. Do they have color names on them now? Do the marker caps match the ink color better now? Those would be the two things that if they have changed those two things, I would probably buy a new set of Crayola Super Tips. So let me know if you've got a newer set. Do they have color names on them? And do the caps match the color of the ink inside them better now? That would be my question. Okay, so this is a little coloring page that we're going to color with the Crayola Super Tips on, and I had Steve print it onto watercolor paper. So that's another big thing that I've done to help myself, give myself a little advantage here. So if you ever color with a water-based marker, and it doesn't have to be a Crayola, it can be a fancy high-end Tombow marker, it can be an Arteza water-based marker, it can be any water-based marker. If you're coloring on a standard piece of paper, you're going to get the dreaded streaks. I bet one of you has commented about the dreaded streaks. Have we heard about it yet?
Nope.
No?
But Yolanda does say you're going to hate the newer ones because they don't stack anymore.
Oh, yeah, these ones, the caps stack. They never really
Jamie
stayed
says
on
still
great.
no color names on those.
No color
But
names?
the caps match.
The caps match better? Well, that's helpful. I'll show you how bad. These have stacked, but they never stacked really great. Because I'm a little rough with my tools, I was always knocking the caps off anyway, so maybe that's not a deal breaker for me. But no names. That's still... Okay. Yeah, it's Crayola. You have to forgive them of some things, I guess. Except they name all their crayons. Why can't they name their markers?
I don't know.
Okay, I digress. Okay, so the streaking issue with a water-based marker is really easy to understand once you know what's going on. So on a standard piece of paper, if you think of paper instead of just like a sheet of paper, think of it like thousands of tiny little sponges. The fibers of the paper are like thousands of tiny little sponges. And when you go across the paper with your marker, the ink goes down onto those tiny little sponges and they start to swell up because they now have a wet ink in them. And then when you go across that marker again with another layer of color, anything that got overlapped gets 2 doses of that ink, and those fibers swell up twice as much. That's kind of the way I think of it. So that's where the streak happens. Now, because you're working on standard paper, even really good cardstock, that's still the same problem. It's still fibers that are swelling up and getting twice a dose of that ink. So that's how come you're getting streaks. Now I've got right here watercolor paper. Now I'm going to let you guys all write down what is the magic ingredient that happens. Write it down in the comments right now. What do they do to watercolor paper that makes it different from all other paper, that why we love our watercolor paper? Has anybody written down the magic word? I'm waiting for it because I've been teaching you guys this word for I don't know how many years. I've been teaching you guys this word, and it's tricky because not all watercolor papers that we buy are actually treated with this, which is what we've discovered when we were researching about watercolor paper. I bet someone has said it now.
Michelle was the first one. Sizing. Then Michaela.
All right.
Wendy.
Thank
Jen,
you. You guys
Jamie,
you guys have learned. It took me a long time to learn that, and that's why I'm teaching you guys the magic of sizing. So what they do is they treat this paper. Sometimes it's actually impregnated into the fibers. Sometimes it's just sprayed on. Either way, sizing is the magic ingredient, and it makes it so that when we go across the paper with our ink or our paint or whatever, instead of it hitting those fibers and the fibers swelling up like little sponges, it gives that paper a little protection. It's a little protection coat on our paper, and it allows that liquid ingredient to just float on the top of the paper. It's not a permanent treatment. You can, wash down through that sizing. That's why some of the more expensive papers, they'll actually impregnate the paper with it. It's not just a coating of sizing. So that's a whole different discussion. But sizing is our magic ingredient. And that's why we were so excited here at Coloring Bliss to offer watercolor paper that actually works. It's real watercolor paper with real sizing. So if you ever want to buy a coloring book from us that you can use all your water-based coloring tools, your Tombows, your Arteza markers, all that kind of stuff, even your Crayola Super tips on a coloring book that's made of actual real watercolor paper, that's what we've got. So
I also have the packs they can buy too, packs of 50.
Oh,
they're already cut
of the
down
loose
8.5 by
paper.
11,
yeah. So if you want to buy this paper,
go through home printer's good,
and print on your own stuff, so your own downloaded coloring pages, you can do that too. Okay, so I've given myself an advantage. I'm working on watercolor paper. So we're going to color this cute little monster orange in honor of my little orange fingernails that we've got going on today. And then we're going to do some crayon effects on the little ghost because he's holding a crayon and he's been doodling on the wall. Mm-hmm. But we haven't even said hi to Steve. You want to get in here?
Sure.
Get in here.
All right.
Okay. You got it. We went on an RV trip, and he's been taking photos. Too bad we don't have any ready to show them.
Yeah.
So that's why he's got the RV beard going. So I was telling Steve that I didn't ever realize before that autumn is a complementary color scheme. Mm. Because the leaves were all orange where we were, and then the sky was blue. So should we do a complementary color scheme for our little monster?
Sure.
Okay.
Orange and blue.
Orange and blue.
Okay.
You're wearing orange too.
I am.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Orange and blue it is. Okay. Thanks for saying hi, Steve. So we'll see what colors we can get out of these markers, because I don't know. I wish one just said orange, We'll see. We'll see what we can find here. So I'm going to grab a swatch piece of paper here to do some swatching. And I got to move this out of the way. Sorry, folks. Ugh. My paper towel holder fell off the wall and it was in the way. All right. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper here. All right. Now I'm organized. Okay, let's go like this. Can you guys hear Rose snoring? I think she's glad to be back in the RV. Okay, so what I've done in the past with my Crayola Super tips is, and this is a great way to organize them because they don't have color names on them, If you don't want to go to the trouble of naming them, then you can just organize them in threes and use a little hair elastic. So this is a light, medium, and dark red that I've got organized in a little hair elastic. So I know that this is a good trio to work with. So I know that this was like a yellow-orange type color for these three. And see what I mean about the colors not really matching the caps well. Especially that one. Can you believe that? That is so far off. But that's a good light, medium, and dark yellow-orange. So now let's find an orange to go with this. So I've heard of people taking that's a good one there, their super tips and numbering them. So if you have 100 colors, you could number them 1 through 100, and then let's say this one is forever going to be number 32, and then you know that this color here is 32. So just make sure you number it with something that won't rub off. I've tried numbering these with like Sharpie markers before, and the alcohol ink will just rub off as you're using the marker. So you might want to use like a paint pen, like a Posca paint pen, or just some sort of acrylic paint pen to number them, and that won't rub off as easily. I've also heard of people using a label maker and labeling them. There's lots of different ways to label these, and then you'll know better that this is always number 33 or whatever I said, and that's that color. So I think that'll work well there. I was hoping for an even darker one. Whoa, that's really dark. A lot darker than I thought. Let's see if we can find... that might be our best bet. Let's see. Oh, that's even darker. That's just going to be really red. Oh, what are you? Oh, that's better. Trade that one out. Okay, so we've got a good, a span of colors here to do our little monster. So that'll be a good place to start. And then we need some blues. And I think I had a couple blues. Looks like the light got lost in that light, medium, and dark set. There's a good duo. Be nice to have a lighter color to go with it. Let's see. It's kind of a... So that one got green in the back of that color.
Samantha left you a nice comment. It says, hello, you made me become a better artist than I am today. You taught me a lot of methods. I just want to say thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so glad. Thank you for saying that. Let's see. Well, I don't know. We could do those three. That's kind of a blue-violet. That's good enough. That's a good start. I'll kind of... Oh, that elastic has lost its zing. Like I said, these have been sitting up there for a long time. Okay, that's a good start. So we're going to do a complementary color scheme. I'll write that down. Complementary. Can you guys believe these are still this juicy? Complementary color scheme. Okay, so and we're going to do orange and blue, and then see how you can get a wide line, you can get a thin line. I mean, that's pretty good, these little nibs. That's pretty decent. Okay, now let's make this little monster cute. And okay, light source. Top right. Well, the catch light is sort of...
Oh, top left.
Top left.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-dum.
Oh, you can do it.
Yeah, but I did it last time on the witch, and now I have to do it again. Okay, I'll do it.
Good practice for you.
Yes, it is. I've been pushing myself really hard. I'm excited to show you guys what I've been working on the side. One of these days I'm going to do a sketchbook tour for them so they can see what I've been working on, but I'm not ready to show them yet.
Okay.
I'm really excited to show you guys what I'm working on. Okay, so we've got right here, this is my Tim Holtz Tonic Studios glass mixed medium mat that I work on right here. It's a big piece of glass, and it's so it's a non-porous surface. So if you've got a ceramic plate or a jewel case, an old CD case, anything that's non-porous is a great surface to work with water-based products. Okay, so I'm going to be using this. I also have a water brush. So this is a brush that has water in the reservoir here, and it feeds the water through to the bristles at the other end. And then I also have some water and some brushes as well that we can use too. So we'll see what I end up using here. So if we've got a light source coming from top left and coming down, that means this side of our cute little monster is going to be kind of in shadow. So I want the highlight to be more up here to make him look all happy and cute. So let's see, let's just kind of start up, I think up here, and I'm starting with kind of a mid-tone to get it going. Now you're going to see that we're not going to have any streaking because of that magic word I'm teaching all of you, which is sizing, because we're working on watercolor paper. So if I was working on standard cardstock, there are other ways to do this that can save you some of that streaking. A lot of it has to do with just remember what's happening to your paper as you're working with it. If you keep it in mind that it's those fibers swelling up and reacting every time you go over it, then you can kind of try to avoid that or work with it. So in this case, we're doing a hairy monster. So if you've got a tool that you know is going to create streaks, that's just the nature of that tool, then don't fight it. Don't try to make a tool do something that it is just in its nature it's going to do. So don't force it to do something different. So work with it. Make those streaks look like pieces of hair rather than forcing the streaks to try not to be there, if that makes sense.
Shark Guru says, "Hi Jennifer and Steve. I made it to the live.
Welcome."
Yes, super tips are super juicy. I've had mine for more than 10 years.
Wow, you beat me.
Aldaleth says, tried some water brush pens that came with my Arteza colors and had to resort to regular ones. Some of them were putting out way too much water.
Oh, wow. Yeah, some of them, I've got a couple that don't put any water out. You can squeeze forever and almost nothing comes out. And then I have some that they put so much water out that it dilutes everything you're doing, and it's a pain to work with. So
Yolanda says, I've used sheet protectors and plastic duotang as palettes for water markers.
That's
Works
a great
really well.
idea. Yeah. That's a really good.
And Mary says, yeah, her issue with regular paper is usually pilling.
Yeah. So that's those fibers again. What happens is the fiber has swollen up so much that it just lets go of the rest of the paper. It's kind of like giving up and running away from its friends. That's what's happening. Okay, so I'm just going to make the whole top of his head. And probably somewhere over here we're going to start transitioning to another color. There's so many different ways to do this, you guys. In fact, we're planning on doing an entire session, like probably 4 lessons on how to color with water-based markers with the Bliss Partner program that we do over at coloringbliss.com. Right now we're studying alcohol markers. They're a totally different beast because they are alcohol-based, so they dry really fast. They can create streaks too, but not as quickly and easily as water-based markers. So we're studying those right now, and then I think, is that our plan to do water-based markers next? Steve says yeah. So Yeah, we'll be studying that very soon. And this, I'm just doing kind of a quick down and dirty, and because we're here working with something simple like these markers here. Okay, now this is the next color here, next darker color. So I'm going to come in under his little mouth. What color should I do his teeth, you guys? I don't think I want blue teeth.
Why not?
I don't know. There I go again, being too literal. This is a monster. There's no such thing as... Oh dear. Okay, so I'm laying in this darker orange here. I'm being quite messy too because I want him to look a little fluffy. Is that the word? He's supposed to look a little furry, right? So I'm not being too careful here. I want him to look rough. Now I'm going back to this color right here, and I'm blending out that transition. Because we're on watercolor paper, I can be quite aggressive between those transitions. But like I said earlier when I was teaching you about these papers, the sizing doesn't last forever. If I sat here and scrub, eventually the sizing would give up. I would get to the fibers and they would start to swell up, and we'd have that pilling that someone was just mentioning happens with these. So I do have to be a little cautious. So, okay, we'll come in here.
Kathy said yellow teeth.
Ooh, that would work good. And I've got this lighter color.
Wendy says, whatever color you do the crayon, he has been chewing on it.
Oh, that's a cute idea. Who said that? I love that idea.
Wendy.
Wendy, I love it.
F. Sanchez says, such a cute page. Kelly says, hi, I just got here and I'm new to the stream.
Welcome. I'm so glad you're here with us.
Heather asked, is the watercolor paper loving the water from the markers?
Yes.
And Candace asked, can you go back over it after it dries?
Yeah. Yep.
And Jewel asked, how can I prevent the bleeding from going to the other side?
So bleeding happens for lots of different reasons. It depends on the tool. If we're talking water-based, this probably hasn't bled at all. And that's because the sizing, the thickness of the paper, and I'm not laying down a lot. Because of the sizing, right now, everything's floating on the top of the paper. That's what's happening here. We're not really soaking into the fibers at all. So there's no bleeding happening here at all. Not even any ghosting happening at all. So yeah, that's the watercolor paper again solves that problem. If you're working with alcohol markers, I keep losing track of, it's actually the one with the lighter cap is the darker. See, Crayola Super tips are just confusing. Yeah. So I keep using the wrong marker as the dark. So, where was I? So yeah, sometimes you can't prevent bleeding. Even if you have the thickest, most amazing paper, you're going to have bleeding. It's the nature of what's happening. Like when we're coloring with alcohol markers, let me show you an example. We recently did, I think I got the caps on right, yeah. We recently did this coloring page. Actually, this is a sneak peek. Should I show them?
Yeah.
Okay, this is with the Bliss Partners, and I'm teaching them alcohol markers like I told you. And this was colored on our very best cardstock. So this is 100-pound amazing cardstock. And look at all that bleed through. I mean, it just happens. That's the nature of...
ghosting than bleed through.
Yeah. It probably bled a little bit here and here, but a lot of this is just ghosting where the ink tried to come through, but it doesn't come all the way through all the fibers. So it's just more an aspect of the marker and you just have to sort of live with it and know that it's going to happen, and don't plan on using the back of your piece of art. So yeah, this is the kind of art I'm teaching with the Bliss Partners over there on Coloring Bliss. If you're interested in learning how to do this, you'll actually see a real-time coloring of this and learn how to do it with me. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay, I'll put this back in its sheet protector. So
Here, I got it.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Back to our little guy here. Let's grab a darker orange now, because I want to get him transitioning down to a full orange. Okay. Ooh, and he's got cute hands. What should we do his hands and feet? Should they be blue?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, we'll make his hands and feet blue. Okay, then it's this one, which is, you think the lighter one, is actually the darker one. So I'm excited to show you. I swatched out all of the Crayola Confetti Crayons. And we didn't have time to swatch them all during that video. And I cannot wait for you guys to see all the colors in that 24 pack. And I need you guys to help me choose which color we're going to use.
DJ said you could put a rubber band around the darker color.
Oh, that's a great idea. Thank you. I'm going to do that right now. Was that BJ?
Yeah.
Thank you, BJ.
Lorraine says blue hands and feet with orange nails.
Oh, cute. Oh, we could do sparkly orange nails. We could use our Pentel Sparkle Pop. Okay, we're going to be really, really rough and crazy here on purpose, so that his fur looks rough and, you know, like Sesame Street, where you just want to get your hands in those puppets' fur. That's what I'm going for. Messy on purpose. That's my kind of coloring, you guys. Messy on purpose. And I feel like I wasn't messy enough up here, so I'm gonna mess it up even more.
Oh, thank you, Carol. She just donated.
Oh, thank you, Carol. Oh, what was that sound? Sounds like something hit the front door. Okay. Messy on purpose.
Might have been Mishka.
Oh, yes, our cat has little friend cats that visit our house from time to time, and he doesn't appreciate it. So he'll like smack the door to tell him to back off our glass front door. I'll bet that's what it was.
We'll ask, what black pen did you use for the drawing?
So this drawing was drawn on Procreate, an app on my iPad. And then Steve printed it on, this was printed with a laser printer, right?
Right.
Okay. Now we have a few little spots here that I'm saving this pen, which was kind of a, I don't know what color you would call this. It's not exactly brown. Well, that's brown. It's kind of a golden brown. So I wanted it to come in here like this. We're going to go over this with my orange so it doesn't look so brown.
Mary's excited to get her hands on the confetti crayons.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I need to buy a second box, you guys. Wait till you see the swatches, because I was like, these are really good. Like, they're good colors. Like, why are we not all buying more of these and using them all the time? Okay, see how good they mix? Oh, this mix is so good, you guys. Okay, now back to my orangey color, and we're gonna mix it right on. Oh, see how good that shadow is? Yes. Go right in there and mix the orange on top to get the color I want. Oh, I went out of the lines a little bit. Shh, don't tell. Okay. We can always hide that with background. That's what backgrounds are for, right, Steve?
Amanda and F. Sanchez says, love your nails.
Oh, thank you. They're my fun, spooky nails. I think these guys, the skeletons, glow in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, Kathy was saying spice is probably that color.
Ooh, that's a good name for it. Okay. I'm trying to be really rough and scruffy. I keep having to go like this to remind myself to be loose and rough. Okay. Now we're getting to the feet. So we decided blue, right? Okay, caps. The other thing I have a problem with these caps is I put the wrong end on and it hurts the nib when you do that. See? Okay. So I feel like we can kind of scruffle in a little bit more here. Make him look a little bit more shaggy. I don't know, was that too scruffy? We can always fix it. Let's fix it. Now it looks like someone colored on him.
Tracy asks, is there a difference between layering the darker color underneath as compared to laying the lighter color first?
You will get a different effect. Watercolor, typically you work light to dark. Am I thinking right? I'm getting gouache and watercolor mixed. Yes, you work light to dark with watercolor. Is that right? Okay, hopefully there's some watercolorists watching tonight that can help me remember.
When we were doing watercolor, it's you showed me how what is it that desaturates?
Because gouache, you can put white on top, so you can work dark to light with gouache. So it's the opposite with watercolor, so you work light to dark. So typically, now this is like if you were a classically trained watercolorist. We are not classically trained. We are colorists. That means we can break all the rules. So if you wanted to follow the rules of a watercolorist, you would work light to dark. So typically you would lay down all your lightest colors and then build up to your darker colors. Yeah, that's right. That's your typical workflow. And then you get your most, your best colors, your most deep color tones. You don't wash them out. You get really pretty colors doing it that way. But all rules are meant to be broken. And because we're doing coloring and not like, we're not doing like a classical thing where you have to leave the white of the paper and all of that, we can break rules and do whatever we want. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so speaking of that, I'm going to try doing a little bit of a different technique here for his hands because I didn't find a good light blue. I want to use my blues a little differently. So I'm going to take to my non-porous surface here and lay some of the ink down here because all we have is, mid-tone blue. We don't have a really good light blue. So I want to use this blue as my mid-tone and I'm going to use a watered down version as my light blue. So this is, again, a water brush, in case you missed it. So that means there's water in here, and it flows through a valve, especially if I squeeze, then it forces even more water. But, the bristles are always wet because it's wicking water through the valve and into these little bristles. So if I pick up that color with these wet bristles, then I can color with a watered down version of this ink. Or we can just think of it basically as watercolor. And I can get a nice tint. Tint is color plus white. So we're using the white paper plus this watered down version color here. Oh, we were going to do the nails a different color. we're going to have to use the Sparkle Pop pens because they're so opaque. Okay, so this will be our first layer. Nice tinted version of the color. So I'm not squeezing this tool at all because this tool flows so well. I don't remember what brand this one was, where I got this one. I have so many of these water brushes now that I can't keep track anymore what brand. I get asked a lot where to get these. I would recommend buying mid-grade of the water brushes. I think the expensive ones are not necessary. They seem to be overpriced in my opinion. The cheap ones are too, like if you buy really cheap ones, they just are a mess. They don't work well, they don't flow well. So just a mid-priced one is what I would recommend you pick up. I think you'll be pretty happy with a mid-priced one. Okay, it seems like we're getting a little too washed down, so get some more ink going here. There, that's a little better color. So the good thing about doing what I'm doing right now is I know that when I'm ready to come in with this marker to darken up the shadows, it's going to be a perfect match for this color I'm laying down because it is this color. It's just a watered down version of the actual marker I'm going to be using. Okay, should we do let's do this part of the horns. I had so much fun drawing these horns. I like trying to decide how to draw the horns. Should they go up? Should they go straight out? Like, as the artist, it was so fun because I wanted him to be charming and cute. And when you changed the horns, sometimes it made him look really mad. Like, it was like eyebrows. When you draw eyebrows on a creature, you can make them look ornery, it can make them look mad, it can make them look sad. The horns did the same thing. So as I changed the horns around, he changed personalities. Even though his eyes were all googly and his smile was all happy, just changing his horns changed his personality.
Rebecca says, how about a name for the monster? I like Herman.
I like Herman too. Okay.
F. Sanchez says Harry.
Herman and Harry. It sounds like he needs an H name, you guys. Okay. Should we do the back of his mouth? What about his tongue? His tongue blue? We were going to do his teeth the color of the... Oh dear. We could do... If we did...
Just do black in there, since there's no tongue.
Yeah, well, there's a tongue right here.
Oh, yeah.
We do the tongue blue. I really liked... I can't remember who said to do the chewing on the crayon idea. I really like that idea. And then maybe like part of his teeth blue. No.
Fred.
Okay, we'll just do a light wash of blue, and then we're going to darken up his tongue and leave part of his teeth ready for the crayon effect we're going to try. Okay, now we can use this marker. Let's clean up our non-porous surface with some water so it won't get on my work. Okay, now I'll use my marker. Oh, look, I got orange on there.
Harmon, Harry, Herman, or Melvin.
You guys have the best names. Okay, now I want it to be shadowed under his belly. And then we'll use, like, oh, I can't do it, Steve. We're going to use the water to blend that out. We're on watercolor. that. And let's see, maybe between his toes too. Like that. Yeah, that looks really good. Well, maybe what we should do is have Steve pick a couple names and have everybody vote on the names. I like an H name. I think it needs to be an H name. Okay. Between his toes. Like that. Cute. Okay, then he would have a shadow being cast here. You kind of have to work, if you're going to do this trick with the water to smooth out that edge, you kind of have to work while it's still a little wet. So just keep your cap off. Like that.
How about Artie?
Artie. Oh, because he's art. I like that. You guys are good. Okay, I like that. And then maybe up here a little bit too. Is this dry enough to do it up here yet?
Hopper.
Hopper.
Herbert, Harvey, Hector.
I wonder if we have any kids watching with us tonight. Do we have any kids watching tonight? Because maybe if we do, we could let one of the kids pick the name. Oh, that looks cute. The shadow on his horn. Oh, so cute. Okay, then in this mouth, this would be quite a bit darker. So we'll build that out.
Harlan. Eldoleth likes Artie.
I like Artie too.
Wendy likes Artie too. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is black. So let's just fill in. Oh good, it's sort of a bluish toned black.
Hank.
I like all the names. Can we just like...
That's what Mary just said. I think they're all cute. I'd have a hard time picking.
Yeah, that's why we need like a kid who's watching with us tonight. Sometimes people have their grandkids, or sometimes one of our nephews are watching. Maybe it's just all adults tonight. There. I like that. That's good. I like his mouth. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, now I need you guys to help me choose a crayon. So let me show you the swatches of these crayons while this is drying really good. Look at the colors. So this is the confetti set, the Crayola confetti set. So I swatched them all. The names are so good. Like this is Tweed Jubilee. Like, they didn't name these for kids, you guys. This is not like 5-year-old names. Tweed Jubilee, Lime-a-Palooza. Can you hear a 5-year-old saying Lime-a-Palooza? These were named for us. These are this is a pack for adults, you guys. Oh, such good colors. So we need a color for whatever crayon it is he's holding. So let me tell you what we need, and then you guys can vote. We need a color that is strong enough to, you know, stand out. It's got to have enough contrast. If he's going to be chewing on the crayon, it's got to be a strong enough color to show contrast there. He's going to be holding it, so it's got to stand out from his furry body, and then it stand out back here. Okay, so that's the requirements for whatever color we choose out of this set. It's got to look good with orange and blue and have enough contrast. So like this Winter Gala is so light, I don't think it has enough strength in color, enough intensity for it to stand out. So that's the requirements for whatever color we choose. So do we have some votes of what color we need, you guys? Which one should we use? I don't know.
There are a couple that stand out.
Some of them are definitely more, what's the word when it has lots of intensity? No, there's a word.
Intensity is saturated.
Saturation. The color is more saturated. Like, you look at these two colors, they're very similar, but this one is more saturated. It has more intensity in the color versus this one. So if you came down to these two, you would pick that one, you know.
Pool party, birthday child, raindrops.
Birthday child, raindrops, yeah.
Or birthday child. Another thing that I thought initially was it would be fun to do something that isn't in the color scheme.
Yeah.
Really like
well,
the lime, like the bright green or something.
If we look at our color wheel to help us, if we go orange and blue, if we go to a tetrad color scheme, orange and blue, it would push us to green or red is where it would push us, or it would push us to, so green or red, or it would push us to, yeah, green or red is what the color wheel would recommend. Which we can do whatever we want. We're the colorists. Is it just everywhere? Is everybody just voting all over the place?
Yeah, there's several.
No consensus. Not everyone didn't just have one big hive mind and pick one color. Okay. So does that mean I have to choose?
Just do the Limapalooza.
Steve picked for us? Oh.
The purple was popular too, the birthday child purple, and
but you want Limapalooza.
I think it would stand out, yeah.
Yeah, it would. It would look really cute on his teeth. Okay. Steve picked Limapalooza.
Well.
Okay, will you find it? Because it's not going to be obvious.
Oh, really?
See, this is the problem with these crayons, is they are very, like, I think all of these looked white. Okay, this is Limapalooza right here. But are you just not thrilled with these colors? Let me bring them up really close real quick so you can take a gander at them. Look at all the different tones in there. It's so exciting to me. Look at the circus. All the different things going on in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Meteor shower, and oh, they're just so exciting to me. Okay, Steve picked, and it was green was one of the ones in the tetrad, wasn't it? Okay, I like that. Okay, so we're going to use Limapalooza. So let's start by coloring up the actual crayon. What was one of the other colors they suggested that they liked?
Birthday child and pool party.
Okay, grab one of those other ones. Okay, I'm looking at this crayon for reference. This is the body of it. Ah, good old crayons. They're very crumbly. Okay. Because I want to use one more of their colors. Yeah, it's standing out really good.
There are those two.
Alright, now we put it on his teeth because, like all children, he's been chomping on his crayon. These are too precious. So, Steve looked these up on Amazon. And right now, this pack is selling for $6.40. so expensive. I think I paid like $2.
It's funny that you think $6 is expensive.
Well,
That's actually really cheap.
it's because I paid $2 at Walmart. So, look at your local stores. Hopefully you'll come across a good deal on them at your local stores. Because I'm going to go check Walmart next time we're at Walmart. I'm still looking for the pearl set, and I want to buy a second set of the confetti because these are just too good to not have two sets. But he did come across a set of 120 crayons that had all of the specialty sets included in it, and it was only $20, and you get all the specialty crayons in it. So yeah, I think you linked those in the video.
I don't think I did that pack. I can put that in later.
Yeah, so they are available on Amazon, and if you just have to have them and you don't care that they cost $6.40 for it, and you don't want to go hunting all your local stores, then yeah, it's there for you. Okay, so there we've got the green. Now we're going to come and do the little ghosts. And I tried to color, when I drew the ghosts, they had several variations. These ghosts on the back wall, they started out much more, not so childlike. And I was like, no, they're wrong. They have to look very childlike, like a little kid got a crayon and drew them on the wall. So that's how come they look the way they do. I think I had like 3 or 4 different versions of these little ghosts. So I'm just going to roughly color them. I've been enjoying this coloring page because it's given me an excuse to just color really messy. And this is really up the confetti crayons. What's the phrase? Alley? Road? Way? Up its... Because you can just fill in the whole area and you see all the different specks that come up through it. Let's see, let's do the little wiggle things. And I was thinking the little spiders, I might use a different crayon, like maybe he's got a full pack of the confetti crayons. But green was his favorite. So, I have another question for all of you. My question is, are you going to get out some Crayola products to use? Did this inspire you to color with any Crayola products? And if so, which ones? I still need to do my video where I show them how to use heat and color with crayons with heat.
Someone asked if you had tried that yet with the confettis.
Not yet, no.
If you've done it yet.
And I don't think I will with the confettis until I know I have a spare box in my stash. Because I want to have my own box that we can use for things like this anytime I want. Oh God, green.
You know, now that you have that idea going, it would have been cute if you had drawn like teeth marks taken out of the side of the crayon.
I thought about it when I was coloring
did
it.
you?
I thought about maybe making the tip look worn down because he'd been coloring on the wall. Yeah. And when I drew it that way, it looked wrong.
It just didn't look right.
Yeah, it didn't really look like a crayon anymore. So, yeah.
Kathy says, yes, I am. Crayons.
Crayons. This would be a good page because you could really do his furry fur looking really rough with crayons. Like like I did down here, really just rough strokes with crayon. Again, color to the strength of the tool. Don't fight the tool. You know that crayons are going to be crummy and a little streaky, so you might as well embrace that, right?
Ant asks, can you use gel pens?
Oh, yeah.
And KR says, I always practice with Crayola and I love using heat and Vaseline with them. They're so much fun for me.
Okay, I'm going to grab, because you guys liked Birthday Child, and I've got another one here we're going to use too. I'm going to do Birthday Child on the spiders.
Kiara likes the twistables.
Which one's the twistable crayons or the twistable color pencils? I'm curious. Okay, so we've got, this is the Birthday Child.
Mary likes her crayons and silly scents.
Oh, are they very strong, the scent? Because I'm so scent sensitive. Oh, I love the little purple.
Yeah, it's cute.
We still have to grab our gel pen and we need to color the body of this. Okay, and then we've got Pool Party. And let's do, should we do the body? What color is Pool Party? Oh, it's another green color. That will fight with that green. So let's do the baseboards with Pool Party, and we'll do the plug with Pool Party. Okay. The baseboards and the plug. It's a very American plug, I just realized, if someone in Europe colors this. Okay. Steve, what color should I do should I do it? What was the other color in the triad? Red. I don't want to introduce red. Let's do that really light yellow. We haven't done that. That's this one here. Oh, that looks good. It doesn't look out of place, and it's going to be very quick.
Mary says about the scents. She says they are, but they smell good.
Oh, good.
They're less strong than Mr. Sketch.
Ah. Okay. We should shade that crayon, but I'm getting tired.
Cinder Rose says, I miss Crayola changeable markers and the 90s version of glitter crayons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think they use that same glitter anymore because it's probably toxic. Okay, here we've got the Pentel Sparkle Pop gel pen. If you are not familiar with the Pentel Sparkle Pops, these are my favorite gel pens as far as a sparkle gel pen. They're a hybrid gel pen, kind of a mix of glitter and metallic. So they're very opaque. So they're going to cover up a lot of the details on the toe here. But that's okay because we want him to have some fantastic toenails and fingernails to match my fantastic nails today, celebrating Halloween. Okay, let's do his fingernails and his horn. This is another line that I wish they would come out with more colors. Very cute. Now we've got 2 places to color here. So maybe if we do blue, we could do, we've got Pentel Sparkle Pop also has a blue. So we could do the inside blue like that. Now, if I've forgotten anything on this page, this pen is getting low. Never you fear. I have an emergency set of Pentel Sparkle Pops, brand new, sitting next to me here, because you can never run out of this pen.
Lindsay says that the Pentel hybrid version has new colors.
What?
Oh, thank you, Lynn. Lynn just donated.
Well, Lynn, I might have to use your donation and go get more Pentel pens. Thank you so much, Lynn. You're so kind. Let's see. While you guys are waiting for me to finish up the horns here, we'll do a little business. Remember, if you want this coloring page, it's available on coloringbliss.com. It's part of the premium library, along with that witch that I colored last week in Pointillism, and a whole bunch of other we're close to 600 coloring pages. We need to count. Plus, there's swatch charts and worksheets, all kinds of fun things to download there in the premium library. It's only $5 a month, and you can cancel anytime you want. So come on over and support us there at Coloring Bliss. There's also free coloring pages, including some fun Halloween ones that are available for a limited time. So come check that out. And if you are interested in joining the Bliss Partners so that you can learn how to color with alcohol markers, or very soon we're going to be doing our water-based marker coloring series. That's only $25 a month, and you get access to all of the past workshops, including the current series, which, like I said, is alcohol markers. And again, you can cancel anytime you want, and supports me and Steve. Keeps me making content like this for all of you, and keeps me drawing new coloring pages and doing reviews for all of you. And we're also giving away a 12 set of Copic sketch markers, these beauties right here. If you're interested in trying to win this set of markers, make sure you follow the link in the video. The winner will be announced November 1st, 2020. And you've got until October 31st, 2020 to get your entries in. And if you're watching this video after those dates, don't worry, we're going to have another big giveaway in November. The prize is sitting behind me, and I cannot wait for all of you to see what it is, but I will wait because I'm going to hold the suspense. So I'm excited for you to see what that prize is. So make sure you have subscribed. You hit that thumbs up so I know you enjoy this cute little monster. And if you hit the little notification bell, you won't miss next time I am live, so that you will know when I start another giveaway or do a fun video like this. Wow, I did that really good. I sounded so professional, like I had memorized that whole script or something.
Yes. The technology guy asked, so do you consider crayon products just for kids, or a brand that is great to use for semi-professional art if you're on a budget? I've heard both arguments. Would love to hear your stance.
Crayola products are, I would say they're like a high-end kids art product. They are not light fast, so they're not, if you're going to sell your artwork, I wouldn't use Crayola products because they're not going to last a long time. So if you're doing it for a client, they're going to be disappointed. Their product won't last a long time on their wall. And if they spent a lot of money on it, they will be disappointed. So for that kind of purpose, it's not a good product to use. But for if you are doing something like I just did, and then you're going to take a digital photo of it and sell digital prints of a unique piece of art that you've created, and then you use Crayola stuff all you want, because it doesn't matter at that point. It's just color on paper, and then it becomes a digital thing that you can sell. So in that case, any art piece, I mean, you can use ketchup for paint. It doesn't really matter at that point, right? So, yeah, I think it's great for anybody, but it just depends. If I was going to sell this piece of art right here, that wouldn't be a professional piece to sell because it's not light fast. Yeah, but for me, and if I sold it as a digital print, then that's a different thing. So I hope that was a good answer for you. So I guess it's situational, huh? Yeah. I didn't color the covers of that, and it's bugging me. What should I color it with? Yellow?
Sure.
Why not? That's a really dark yellow I think I picked up. No, it's not bad. That looks really weird. Oh well. It's a monster's house. All right. Are there any other last minute questions while I finish up this little monster?
No, but Elvaleth's had a good comment. Says, as much as supplies are nice, learning how to use what you have can help a ton. You'll see all varieties of art in the Facebook group with a little bit of everything used.
Yeah. I think it's really important to ever so often revisit old art supplies like this, because sometimes you don't have the budget to buy the newest, fanciest stuff, and to remember that you've got these good pieces, these good art products. That look at the vibrant colors we got. I mean, that's just Crayola Super
better
tips.
show off the gleam.
Okay, let's move it in the light. You can see his little horns. Let's see if I hold it really flat. Here we go. There, now you can see his little fingernails. I love the idea of putting it on his teeth. That, whoever said that, I wish I remembered who. I can't remember. I think my favorite name was Artie. I think that was my favorite name. Whoever said that, thank you. So we're going to put his name as Artie. Artie. And then I need to sign it. Today's date is what, Steve?
The 21st.
The 21st. So I always date my pieces because it's fun to go back and see my progress with my colorings. So I highly recommend you do that. And then I'm going to write my name on here. Because I'm going to post this on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I post my art there. And eventually I will share my current product, my current project that I'm working on. It's kind of a secret project that I'll share with you soon, but I'll probably start leaking a little of it onto Instagram first. So if you want to follow me over on Instagram, Steve will put my Instagram, what is it called? Channel? Whatever that is called.
I'm not sure what that is.
Is it a channel handle name? Yeah. Follow me there, and when I start getting brave enough to share the new stuff I've been doing, you can find it there. So thank you for joining me. I hope you learned a little bit of how to color with your Crayola Super tips, and how to color with water-based markers in general. And yeah, make sure you follow the links in the video description to get your entry in for those beautiful Copic markers. And I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone.